All right. We have NewsNation correspondent at large, Geraldo Rivera, and host of The Young Turks, Cenk Uygur. Good to have you both. Now, Cenk, the idea that everybody wants Harris, you say, hell no.
That's right. Yeah, there's no need for it to be Kamala Harris. In fact, I want everybody in the audience to understand that we have two choices. One is an open convention where we would pick the very best candidate. And by the way, that could easily be Kamala Harris. Or the other option is we don't even try to find the best candidate. We don't test the candidate, and we anoint Kamala Harris. By the way, the same people who anointed Joe Biden as the best candidate against Trump, the same people who were incredibly wrong about Biden are saying, no, don't test Kamala Harris either. Let's just pick her instead of picking our best candidate. I actually don't even see the other side's argument, because at best they would be saying, yeah, we know Kamala Harris couldn't win the most delegates, but we should pick her despite the fact that she's weaker. That makes no sense at all.
Geraldo, what do you make of this handsome man's analysis?
I think he's way too tough on the Democrats and on Kamala Harris specifically. When I heard her name, first of all, I felt a tremendous sense of relief when Joe Biden made the announcement that he would not seek a second term. He has been struggling so mightily, and it's been, such a drag on his legacy. He was erasing his own brilliant history. And speaking of history, I think maybe goes a little too light on how important this is historically. Remember Obama in 2008. Remember the fact that the black electorate has been listless about Joe Biden. The surveys showing that some of them or many of them are thinking of jumping ship to the Republican side to back Trump. So I think that look at her, give her another look. She's had 4 terrific weeks, no word salads, no malaprops. I think that she will inherit the Democratic machine. That's a good thing for Democrats. She will be a continuation of some of the policies of President Biden, who has had a very underrated incumbency. I think that this is a big move for the Democrats, and I think it makes them, and I didn't think that it was even possible, but I think it makes them competitive against St. Donald, who is still and will forever be, carrying the flag of hero in the Marvel universe. He's Superman who survived the assassination attempt. I think this makes the Democrats competitive, and I think that it really motivates the electorate in a way that Joe Biden never could, or certainly couldn't in his later life, Chris.
Cenk, who's better?
Yeah, there's potentially a ton of people who are better. It could be Governor Josh Harris, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Andy Beshear, who won twice in Kentucky, Governor Wes Moore in Maryland. Look, there's this topsy-turvy world where Geraldo's kind of arguing for identity politics here. So this idea that I've heard a couple of your guests say that, she's a black woman, so we have to give it to her. That's absurd. Even Barack Obama doesn't agree. So is Barack Obama being racist? It's just preposterous. And look, here's the thing. Kamala Harris can easily win the convention. She'd be the favorite. She's a VP right now, and the delegates would be likely to pick her. If she can't win a contest that simple, then she's obviously not our strongest candidate. What's wrong with testing her a little bit? I mean, it would be such a light test.
I have no problem. I have no problem with her going to the convention. I have no problem with Kamala going to Chicago without the nomination secured, but I am fully confident that she will get the nomination. And then you pair her with somebody like Mark Cuban. I don't even know if he's a Democrat or not. Somebody, George Clooney, somebody atypical. And I think the Democrats could make some noise. They can be competitive in a race that all the pundits over the last 8 days have written them off. I think they have a shot. Now, please, my inappropriate metaphor there, but I think they have a chance to make some history.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, And you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.